So at the beginning of the year, I decided I wanted to go and redesign a character I first made back in 2020, right before COVID went global. Pretty unlucky timing, because I wanted to see if I improved my character design skills, because it's not something I'm the most confident about. I definitely want to work on my character design skills a bit. So I just off the go, I had a bit of an idea, but I struggled the most with getting the mask design to feel right, because I don't draw this kind of mask at all, and I didn't really like the design of the old one. It didn't help that this wasn't really a character with a story. It was an alright design. I went I could make this more interesting. So I tried quite a bit of stuff before I finally landed on what I landed on. This isn't it, by the way. This wasn't the final design. I did want to play around, and especially at this time, I was really into having one strong pop of color. A lot of my sketches from the time have that. So I wanted to try to incorporate that, and I do love my blues a bit too much. So there was a lot of back and forth there. Then I consulted a friend, and they advised me on actually trying to find a bit of a story for this character or background. So I landed on a alchemist and what are they called? People that do mechanical shit. Mechanics work and alchemist combination. That's why the white coat is there, but also the overalls, something that you can get dirty. Yeah. I actually ended up choosing 2 color palettes for this character because I thought it both seemed like they fit. Although I went with one main one and one side one. I am quite alright with how they turned out. So, kind of funnily, I really loved the way the hair looked, and then I went to a con around this time, and there was a person with the exact same hair shade, even pink in the back, and I was like, hey, this looks pretty, and now I feel kind of awkward. I don't want her to think that I did this because you did your hair this way, if she ever comes across it. I don't know. Anxiety. I'm very awkward. I'm just rambling now. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the design I kinda came up with. There are some changes I can already now see I kinda would want to change. It's been a few months. I'm bad at recording these. Actually getting around to recording these. But there's already some changes I might want to do, and honestly I will probably go back and touch the design up in another year. But before this I do want to try to actually get better at character design and just need a lot of practice. I don't get a lot of practice in that. Yeah, I am using the same sort of painting technique like I did for the bunny character sheet. I don't know if you could call it a bunny character sheet. The blue guy, my little pal that I love very much, that character sheet, because I realized doing it this way forces me to actually focus on shapes and colors in a much more intense way instead of just being able to sketch in lines, because I don't think enough about where I put colors for characters a lot of the time. It's a bad habit, and it can easily feel like lead to a few of the colors being a bit washed out or right next to each other, even though they shouldn't be. Even here it's a bit of an issue where the grey hands are way too close to the right of the coat, so if it's from the side it kind of washes out a bit, and it's a bit too similar. That's definitely something I gotta work on in the future, and this forces me to do a bit more about it, think about it a bit more, but even then not enough. It's still some issues. I do really gotta work on that, and just once again character design in general. But yeah, and then I just spent the rest of the time very slowly cleaning up. This was done over a bigger length of time. I usually leave the cleanup over a few. I'm not very good at concentrating, so cleanup is usually over a lot of different art sessions instead of just sitting down actually doing it. If I were able to just sit down, it would go a lot faster, but instead I'm pretty distracted, let's put it this way. So cleaning up is oftentimes over a lot of days or weeks, sometimes even months and years. There's some pieces I had to pick up years after to finally finish, It's bad. I You can probably also kind of see that I'm pretty all over the place with where I work on a lot of processes. I'm actually surprised how well I was able to sit down and just focus on one thing instead of moving around as much as I usually do. Concentration is an interesting thing. I don't know, I'm just rambling to this one. I didn't write a script for once. I'm trying this format out. I don't to just see how it goes. Improvisation, all of that. because I didn't think of a character in front. Like, oh, this is a very specific character, this is for story. I don't know. There isn't much to this one, and I think that's also leading a bit to an issue why the character design is a bit and feels a bit It's just because there's no real character behind it, it's just an design with no substance really. And I do think that that's something I definitely want to work on for this one when I go back and redesign them again in another year or two. Is making sure that there's a bit more substance behind the design. And also maybe bringing in some details, because something I notice is that I am not too detail oriented, not enough detail oriented. And I do want to work on that, but yeah, that's it. That's my cue to go say goodbye. And thank you for coming by the way. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope it wasn't too bad of a time. And bye bye, have a good day.